Un hombre llamado William Taylor, que afirma que ha viajado en el tiempo y que regresó de los años 8973 y 3000, pasó con éxito la prueba del detector de mentiras, según un video publicado en el canal ApexTV, que se especializa en actividad paranormal. El hombre contó que trabajaba en la inteligencia británica y viajaba en el tiempo en el marco de un proyecto secreto desarrollado por el gobierno. Según sostiene, el viaje en el tiempo se logró por primera vez con éxito en 1981. Además, destacó que existen universos alternativos y es posible moverse entre ellos. Taylor afirmó también que los viajes al futuro estarán disponibles para todos en el año 2028. Asimismo, subrayó que pasó 6 horas en el año 8973 y que no quería volverse al tiempo actual. Según el viajero, existe una utopía en aquella época. Además, encontró en ese año híbridos de humanos y robots con cabezas y ojos anormalmente grandes, que tenían bocas pequeñas y se comunicaban telepáticamente. Sin embargo, notó que pudo hablar con ellos en inglés. Imagen ilustrativa descubren más allá de Plutón al duende que podría revelar la existencia del planeta décimo. Cada persona en el futuro tiene un dispositivo implantado que le permite hacer un escaneo de cerebro instantáneo y, de acuerdo con Taylor, gracias a esta tecnología las palabras fueron inmediatamente traducidas a un idioma cómodo para esta persona. Sobre su viaje al año 3000, describió que vio el cielo de color rojo. De igual forma notó niveles altos de polución y radiación. A diferencia de 8973, no encontró ninguna persona allí. Por su parte, muchos internautas expresan dudas sobre el contenido de esa grabación y estiman que se trata de una mentira. Hacen notar que la reacción y movimientos de Taylor lucen artificiales y resaltan que el viajero a menudo, mientras cuenta su experiencia, echa una mirada a un papel con un texto escrito.
Hello everybody, welcome to ApexTV. Today we're sitting down with William Taylor, who claims to be a time traveler who visited the year 8973 as part of a top-secret project with the British government. Hello William, how are you today?
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
That's good. So, as you can see, we have the lie detector hooked up, which measures breathing and heart rate, among other things. And while lie detectors aren't a 100% guaranteed way of telling if somebody's telling the truth, it'll give us the basis of which to base our evidence on. Okay, let's start off with the basics. Are you an actual time traveler who has visited the future?
Yes, I am.
Alright, and we're going to be able to see the results afterwards and display them on screen. Next question. Did you meet robot-human hybrids in the future?
Yes, I did. In fact, I met a great many of them. I remember they had abnormally large heads and large eyes as well.
And did you talk with them?
I did, yes. I spoke to them for quite some time, and they told me that they lived forever. And they also didn't seem too surprised that I was there, which led me to believe that time travel was quite a commonplace thing at that period of time in the future.
Did they colonize other planets other than Earth?
Yes, they had.
Okay, and you also said on a separate occasion you time traveled to the year 3000 and back. Is this true?
Yes, I time traveled to the future on multiple occasions during my work with the British government. My trip to the year 3000 was quite a bit different than my trip to the year 8973, where the latter could only be likened to a utopia. The trip to the year 3000 was a trip to a place where I don't think I'd want to be for too long. The sky was completely red, there was pollution everywhere, and I didn't see a single person during the trip. The base level where I was situated was completely empty. Thick pollution and smog up in the air, and through that smog I could see the lights of some sort of flying transportation, but I did pick up on my radiation meter that there was quite a bit of radiation in the air, so I had to get back into my time travel machine quite quickly and exit it quite abruptly as well.
So you time traveled using a machine?
Yes, I travelled in a spherical machine that is so small it only fits one single person, and it's encased in a thick layer of lead to protect from radiation.
Okay, so how does time travel work?
The way the scientists that I worked with explained it to me was that we live in a simulation. In fact, every universe is a simulation, and that I would be sent to the fourth dimension, and then from there I would enter another universe with a different time. Now, this was in the early 2000s, and time travel technology was up to a point where they could pinpoint a specific year and travel to that.
All right. And how exactly did you get involved in time travel?
Well, like I said, it was through my work with the British government. I started in a low-ranking position, but over the time I was there, I gained the respect of my superiors and was able to rise through the ranks until I was offered a job at the British Intelligence Agency. Now, when that happened, a lot of things changed. I was very abruptly led into a small dark room where I was made to swear that I wouldn't tell anyone or leak anything about the jobs that we were doing. But now I see it as my moral responsibility to tell the public what I experienced and what's going on. And I think that this will benefit the public to know such things like there are plans on releasing time travel as a technology to the public in the year 2028. I think it would be beneficial for humanity to know and understand that fact.
Are you putting yourself at any risk for coming forward with your story?
No, I should be okay.
Okay, well, that's good. We have interviewed many other people claiming to be time travelers. Do you know if they're telling the truth?
Yes, they would be, the majority of them at least, as time travel was first successfully accomplished in 1981.
Okay, but many of their stories are contradicting.
Well,
how is this possible?
This comes from that explanation that the scientists gave me. There are an infinite number of universes, so many of these time travelers have in fact travelled to different universes, and with different universes there comes different stories and contradicting stories and experiences. But as I said, I believe that this technology should be released to the public. I think we would be able to do good moral things if this technology was opened up and explained to a public forum.
Isn't that what the government is already doing?
Yes, but I think if it was released to the public there would be commercial applications, and there would have to be a sort of strict set of laws integrated with that technology so as to avoid people behaving badly or creating a paradox.
So paradoxes do exist?
Yes, but not in the way most people think they do. A paradox would only be caused if something drastic was to happen, like a mass murder or things like that. Small changes like talking to different people and things like that don't really change anything.
So, what kind of changes would cause a paradox?
Well, the scientists that I worked with were actually unsure as to whether paradox existed or not. But they told me that during their calculations they discovered that if there was a huge change, such as causing harm to a large number of people, that would cause one. However, the times that I went to the future, 8,973 in particular, technology seemed to be at a point where paradoxes were really the least of their worries. They had thinned out the risk of a paradox occurring.
That's fascinating. I've never heard paradoxes described like that before.
Yes, I mean, they are a real thing. In fact, there are time travel programs run by multiple countries, and the scariest thing about that is I do believe that some countries know more about time travel than others.
Does the US have a time travel program?
Yes, they certainly do, yes. In fact, the USA and the UK were working together at some points on certain missions and objectives.
So, in your first video explaining your time travel experiences, you mentioned a little about the Mandela effect, or experiencing events from a different reality. Like, some people say they remember little things like song lyrics or logos being different than they actually are. Is the Mandela effect real?
Yes, the Mandela effect is very real, and it's becoming more and more prevalent over the last recent years. And this is due to experiments, large-scale experiments carried out by a number of different countries' governments and their scientists. In fact, there has even been attempts to move this world onto another timeline due to what can only be described as political, social, economical reasons. It's got so bad now that they're even looking at things as drastic as that.
How did the government acquire time travel technology?
They acquired it through a number of cover-ups, which enabled them to reverse engineer certain technologies. I mean, the one that a lot of people know about is the incident at Groom Lake, or many people would know it as Area 51. A spacecraft lands or crash lands, and the scientists are able to break down their technology and rebuild it, and through that they discover more advanced technology. And these crafts have been rebuilt. I mean, I've seen them rebuilt with my own eyes.
Interesting. While in the year 8973, did you meet any actual humans?
I mean, I wouldn't classify them as humans. They were more, seemed to be descendants of humans. I mean, I met another time traveller there from the year 2055, and obviously I explained to him that I had come from the year 2005, and his appearance there led me to believe that time travel is a sort of free market in the future. He was free to visit the future as and when he pleased.
Was there anything bad in the future?
No. It was, as I said, it was a utopia. There was no crime or conflict. There seemed to be solutions and cures to any possible problem or disease there was. I mean, I didn't really want to leave, but I knew that I had to. I knew I had a mission and I had to complete that mission.
Was there anything else notably different in 8973?
Yes, a great many things were different in 8973. I mean, for one, there was a huge red glow in the sky next to what we would see as our classic sun. And I asked what that red glow was, and someone told me that it was the red supergiant Antares, which had exploded into a supernova and now was visible right beside our own sun.
Wow. You said you talked to the evolved people. Did they speak English?
I was actually wondering how they knew perfect English when I was speaking to them, and I asked someone and they politely told me that everyone in the future had this device implanted in them that allowed them to do an instant brain scan on anyone they were speaking to, and that their words were instantly translated into a language that was comfortable for that person. I noticed as well that the people of the future had very small mouths, which is obviously a result of them not using their mouths that much. I mean, the only way that they spoke to each other was, the only way to describe the way they spoke to each other was telepathically. They were using telepathy.
That's incredible. How long did you stay in the future?
I stayed for about 5 or 6 hours. I mean, the place was like a dream. I took pictures, but of course they were confiscated upon re-entry to my own time period.
Are there any events in the near future that you could tell us about?
I can tell you that the president's initials at that time were YRK.
Speaking of which, does the United States even exist in the far future?
When I visited the future, I saw no indications of any countries or borders at all. I mean, I wish I could go back there. I mean, hopefully we will be able to. When that year 2028 comes, I and many others will be able to visit that time.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see if time travel is released in 2028, and maybe even time travel one day myself.
Yes, I mean, it's incredibly exciting. I think if people knew what was on the horizon, they would be as excited as I am. I mean, it was a world where diseases were eradicated. It was a world where advancements such as mind upload technology and even sentient AI, sentient artificial intelligence, were commonplace. I mean, it was an incredibly exciting time to be a part of, and it's incredibly exciting to think that those things are in the future.
Could you tell us when?
I mean, the things I've spoken about just then will happen in the next few decades.
Could you give an exact year?
I would say before 2050, before the year 2050.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this.
I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate someone helping me to spread this story. I mean, people need to know about these things. We need to be able to move into the future together without any secrets being kept, and with these technologies and advancements being something that we're all a part of.
Is there any last thing you'd like to tell the public?
Keep innovating. Keep creating new cures. Keep pushing humanity forward. If we do that, then the future will be a brighter place. It's as simple as that.
Thank you. We at ApexTV wish you the very best.
Thanks very much.